That's another foundation primer, a protecting foundation primer serum. It's tiny.
That's the best gift you could give.
But
Toy Central.
Up here, agog with curiosity.
Especially the old fogies. They love a good murder.
back there, come on, heads up.
Hi. I did not read another word. I had a busy morning. I visited my grandparents-in-law again to give my grandfather-in-law the Challenger book that I got for him, as well as Stranger in the Woods, which he seemed to be curious about, so I just gave him my copy. And then I spent the rest of the afternoon and early night laying in bed. Every now and then my back hurts a lot, and these editing nights haven't been helping them. And so I just binged a couple Miss Marple episodes. It's a show that I know like the back of my hand, that I go to regularly as a comfort watch for me to zone out on, half the time fall asleep to, which I did today. It's one of those things, like I guess Miss Marple is my version of smutty reality TV. Like it's my version of the Real Housewives or something along those lines. Like no big, deep, hard thoughts. I just watch the unpleasant people living their small village lives. And I've always idealized. I'm sure it has a lot to do with growing up reading Agatha Christie, but I've always idealized like British rural countryside life because it's so opposite from how I grew up. I grew up in Los Angeles. The number one thing that I hear people remark upon when even fellow Americans who are just from different parts of the country but who fly into LA for the first time, the number one thing that they comment about is how much concrete there is, how little greenery and trees there are here. How can people live that way? But that's how I grew up, seeing trees and a plethora of grass. That is exotic for me. And when I lived in Washington State, that was the first thing that I remarked upon. Like, oh my God, there's so much green. We're just on the highway and it's like a forest. So very much idealized countryside, rural village living and having a childhood in a place like that. And oh gosh, was it last night, a couple nights ago, when we were having dinner with friends, one of the people grew up in a rural German village, and that was his childhood. And of course, I pumped him with my questions. And he was telling us how, yes, seeing so much nature was wonderful growing up, but at the same time, he, felt disgruntled about loving the game Tony Hawk, but having no one else interested in the same things, much less knowing about the same things, and he just felt very stifled. And that's why he left and is now in America. And how he grew up idealizing like the Southern California, Orange County childhood where kids skateboard all the time and everyone's wearing Vans and Dickies shorts, like that whole vibe. And that's what he grew up idealizing, which is exactly the type of childhood that my husband had. So it's all relative. It takes all kinds, and this is what's fun about meeting people and talking to each other and reading things that aren't like what we're used to, and vice versa, reading things that are exactly what we know, because it validates how we've seen and thought our entire lives and we're not alone. That was like the deepest thought that I had while watching Miss Marple today in bed while my back was hurting. And I have a really early day tomorrow. We're gonna have a Sunday fun day and have a nice family day. So I need to get this vlogmas up quick and go to bed, and I hope my back is not hurting as much tomorrow, if at all. And yep, December continues to be Decembering. I got the advent calendar item this morning was another foundation primer, which I haven't tried yet because I didn't put on makeup today either. I didn't let what that grandma say to me get the better of me. I'm fine today. Just my back. So some days are just going to be like this where not much really happened. I don't really have that much to talk about. And yeah, the whole day, I'll be honest, I kept thinking, oh my God, what am I going to talk about in my vlogmas today? Because I just ran a bunch of errands. It was a banal Saturday. Went to the post office, which is, I think, the only footage that I got from my errand morning. It is what it is. So with that, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night. I think tomorrow will be a longer video. Thanks for watching. Good night.